Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the Draft Nerd, and today we're going to be finding out just how good Shedeur Sanders really is. Now, up on the screen right now, I have how he played in 2024, along with some of the strengths and weaknesses I seen while watching his film. So in 2024, he had 4,133 pass yards, which was good for 4th in college football, 37 touchdowns, really good, 2nd in all of college football. He did throw 10 interceptions, which, was 31st most, which, isn't terrible, isn't bad. Probably could look to, lower it just a little bit. 28 big time throws, that was 7th in all of college football, so he was pushing the ball down the field and making some really good throws. Only 7 turnover worthy plays, which was 5th least in all of college football, which, Shedeur Sanders does a really good job at. He doesn't like making risky throws. He's usually good at making accurate, well-timed throws, to avoid any turnover-worthy plays. Now, he does have a 3-second time to throw, which is really long. It's 13th longest in all of college football, and, in the NFL, you're not going to be able to hold on to the ball for 3 seconds. You're going to have to get that thing out in about 2 seconds, so that is something he's going to have to work on. And you'll see on the tape that I show you guys that he does hold on to the ball for just a little bit too long. And then he also took 41 sacks, which was, tied for the most in all of college football. And, that's not totally on him, of course. That's a lot to do with not a great offensive line, but you'll see a couple plays that I show you guys where he just takes, not great sacks, and he tries to do too much with limited athletic ability. So you'll see all that on tape when I show it to you. And while looking at his tape, some of the strengths that I've seen was that he was really accurate on most throws. That's probably his biggest calling card to be, really good in the NFL, that he's actually really accurate on most of his throws. He's also safe with the ball. That goes into the only 7 turnover worthy plays. He plays with really good anticipation, so he's accurate and he throws with anticipation, which is a really good mix to be a really solid quarterback in the NFL. He also has a really good base and, lower body footwork. He doesn't really have too many heel clicks, or he doesn't really throw off platform, which leads to inaccurate throws. Like I said, he's really accurate, throws with anticipation, good footwork, and he has really good touch to be able to throw over defenders, and really just, he understands, how much speed to throw the ball with. We've seen with guys like J.J. McCarthy in last draft class, he was throwing a check down pass 5 yards away as hard as he could, and that's just not what you want to do. You want to throw a catchable ball, and I think Shedeur Sanders does a really good job of throwing catchable balls, and he's able to loft balls over defenders, over linebackers. Now, also while watching tape, there were a good amount of weaknesses as well. He's not a great athlete. In the NFL, a team's not going to have to game plan around him using his legs. Now, he's not a statue in the pocket by any means. He's able to manipulate the pocket, scramble a little bit, make throws on the run, but he's not a great athlete. And he also doesn't have a strong arm either. He's not a toolsy guy like we've seen with guys like Jalen Moore on this draft class, or, guys like Josh Allen coming out, Caleb Williams, guys like that. He just doesn't have that strong of an arm. If I had to compare his arm strength to someone in the NFL, I'd probably say someone like Joe Burrow. And honestly, I think Shedeur Sanders' absolute ceiling is a guy like Joe Burrow. Do I think he'll reach that ceiling? Probably not, but a guy like Joe Burrow, he is really accurate, he throws with good anticipation, and he's able to progress through his reads. He's not the best athlete, he doesn't have the strongest arm, similar to Shedeur Sanders. He holds onto the ball for way too long. Like I said, a 3-second time to throw is really long, especially in the NFL. He does have some fumbling concerns. He had 7 fumbles this past year in 2024, followed by 5 in 2023, 7 at Jackson State in 2022, and then 12 his freshman year at Jackson State. So he's had a bit of an up and down problem with fumbling. You'll see on one play that I show you guys, it was just the worst possible fumble. So he does need to look to take care of the ball. If he's getting sacked 41 times, he's going to have to protect that ball. And then lastly, I put character concerns. Obviously, that's not going to show up on tape or anything, but I feel like there's at least going to be one guy in the comments that says, oh, well, he has character concerns, that has to be a weakness. And I think that's a little bit overblown by the media, but I decided to put it down there. I don't think it's that big of a concern, but sure, he's got character concerns. He's a bit of a diva. Who cares? So this is just kind of like the outline of a guy like Shedeur Sanders, what he's good at, what he's bad at. So we'll, see all of this on tape. So with that being said, let's get into the tape. All right, so getting into this first play, it's going to be a bit of a simple play. It's not a big gain or anything, but it's really important to show how Shedeur Sanders is able to move from read to read, maneuver through the pocket and make good, accurate throws. So to begin the play, he's going to be looking towards this side of the field, this route formation. He's not going to like what he sees. He's going to move his eyes off of that. By the time that happens, this pressure is going to be all in his face. He's going to maneuver the pocket. You'll see with his hand, he signals to one of these receivers what to do, maneuvers the pocket, makes a really good throw on time and on target. So we'll let this play out, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. You'll see, looks this way, doesn't like what he sees, moves his hand, maneuvers the pocket, sets a good base, and throws the ball on target. Now, obviously that was what, maybe a 3-yard gain, nothing special, but it really shows you his ability to move through progressions, which is really hard to do, especially for a young quarterback like this. And it also shows that he's able to maneuver through the pocket, still throw with a really good base with his feet, and make a throw on target. So we'll play this again, fully through. You'll see, looks to the left, doesn't like what he sees, moves to the right, sets his feet, throws on target to number 5. Really good play, and it's not a play you're going to see if you look up Shedeur Sanders highlights, but it is a really good job at demonstrating that he's just got a good control over this offense. You know, a different angle here, you'll see. Looks to the left, that's covered. Looks to the right, maneuvers the pocket, sets his feet, a ball on target, boom. Really good play. It's not going to get a lot of shine. You would probably never see this play unless you actually looked at the tape, but it just demonstrates 1, his ability to read a defense, 2, to be able to maneuver through the pocket, 3, be able to set a good base on his throw, and 4, deliver an accurate throw. Moving on to this play here, what we're going to see is, I believe this is going to be a play action fake. I think we're going to get some motion, but we're going to be looking at this receiver right here. He's going to try to get a good release on this defender, and he's going to have a go route. We're going to see Shedeur Sanders only eye down this defender. He's not going to move off this read at all, and he's going to try to make this throw. And as you'll see throughout this play, he beats this defender originally, and you'll see that there's maybe a bit of a pass interference. He's able to kind of grab the receiver and kind of pull himself to catch up with him. And Shedeur Sanders also underthrows this ball just a little bit, so I will let this play out, and we'll show you exactly what I mean. We got motion, play action. Defender originally, beats his defender a little bit. I don't think it's enough to really make this throw. If you look, Travis Hunter's right here. He's going to break open. Same with this defender. He's going to break open as well. This throw is probably the 3rd best throw on the field right now. But we'll watch. You can already see there's a little bit of tugging going on. But when you fully watch this play, Shedeur Sanders is going to throw it. And by this time, the defender, I'm not going to lie, he did pull a little bit. Now he's ahead of the receiver, and potential turnover worthy play right there. We'll show it again, different angle. You'll just watch how Shedeur Sanders doesn't move off this read. Stares him down the whole way, lets it rip, incompletion. Now if he was able to move off of this read onto maybe a Shedeur Sanders, maybe to this receiver here, I don't know which one technically would be the second read progression. This is obviously the first progression. I don't think that was necessarily there. I think Travis Hunter and this receiver could have been a better throw to the middle of the field, and there was potential for rack too, depending on where the ball was thrown and how the ball was caught. Instead, he throws this deep ball, and it just overall wasn't a fantastic throw, nor a fantastic read in my opinion. So we'll just let it play out. Incompletion. Bit of a tug there, not gonna lie. And overall, just not the best decision and not the best throw. Next play up, I just wanted to add this because I just think it's a good example of, where his athleticism and mobility is at. And he also does a really good job at getting out of bounds and protecting himself. If Shedeur Sanders does decide to run the ball, he does a really good job at either sliding to avoid contact or running out of bounds to avoid contact. Shedeur Sanders, I think, does a really good job at understanding that, his health is most important. So, don't try to, bang up your body to try to gain an extra 5 yards if that's going to result in an injury. So we'll let this play out. You'll see, throw's not there, avoids the rush, and gets out of bounds. Now you'll see again, once he decides that his initial read's not there, these defenders are going to be breathing down his neck. He's going to step up in the pocket and roll out. And you'll also notice that he doesn't try to fight for those extra, 5-ish yards. He's going to try to get out of bounds, which I think is a really, really good, trait to have. You'll see. If you look, he could continue to try to push this upfield and maybe take a hit from number 3, but instead he kind of flattens his run out to try to get out of bounds as fast as possible. Now really, if number 3 wanted to, he could have probably laid a hit on Shedeur Sanders and it would have been clean, but Shedeur Sanders gets out of bounds. Not the most, athletic play in the world, but it's just a good example to show that Shedeur Sanders can run, first of all, and 2, he knows how to protect himself, which not a lot of college quarterbacks know how to do. Now, this is one of his worst plays of the entire day. In a bowl game going against BYU, you want to get this win. And if you look, this ball snapped at maybe the 7-yard line. This is 3rd down, by the way. He's got to get to the 4-yard line. He just needs a 3-yard play. Instead, he ends up taking about a 20-yard sack. So we'll let this play out. As you see, he tries to break that sack. He does. Breaks that sack again. Tries to run away. Ends up being sacked at about the 30-yard line. He went from the 7-yard line to the 30-yard line. Even if they didn't convert that 3rd down, that's an easy chip shot of a field goal. Now, especially in college, a kick from the 30-yard line, that's not guaranteed, especially in college. So he just made the kicker's life a whole lot harder by taking that absolutely terrible sack. So we'll watch it again. In hindsight, he probably should have just went down there. There's no sense in trying to make something happen. He doesn't have the athletic tools to be able to make something happen, I don't think. So he just keeps going back and back and back and back until he finally gets sacked at like the 31-yard line. You can't do that in the NFL. There's no excuse for that in the NFL. Onto this play, he's going to take another really, really bad sack. Just keep an eye on, once he gets the ball into his hands, where he keeps it when the pressure gets to him. It's not really his fault that his blocker absolutely whiffed on that block. Now he's got a free rusher in his face. But just look at where he's holding the ball and where he continues to hold the ball once, the defender makes contact with him. I'm going to pause it again right here. As you can see, he's not getting out of that sack. And look at the ball. It's just right in his hand. He doesn't have it tucked or anything. And then we'll let this play out. And then he just slings the ball. The ball just completely flies out of his hands. And that was ruled a fumble. So we'll see this one more time. Just look at how careless he is with the ball. Once the defender makes contact, he's just got that ball flinging out in the air. He needs to be able to tuck that ball. If he's going to take a sack, take a sack. That's going to happen. But you got to be able to protect the ball. Fumbling, especially like that, there's no excuse for it. That was a bad play by him. If you take the sack, move on from it. But you cannot, turn the ball over that egregiously. Now on this play will end up being an incompletion, but it does a really good job of showing that he does have the ability to maneuver through the pocket, go off script and make a crazy throw, cross body or on the run. So we'll see right here. Pass rush gets to him pretty quickly, maneuvers the pocket, spins away, avoids any type of contact, targets, boom. And all things considered, that's a really good throw that Travis Hunter probably could have made and probably would make, I'd say, about 60% of the time. So we'll replay this one more time. We'll see that, Colorado's offensive line, they do Shedeur Sanders no favors, but his ability to escape pressure and still make a pretty decent throw is really, really impressive in my opinion. Look at him. Steps up, moves, avoids any type of contact, even points to, tell the receiver where to go, and he throws it where only his receiver can get it. Obviously, Travis Hunter didn't, get the reception, but there was no chance for an interception. He threw it right where no one else could get it except for Travis Hunter. So that's a really good play. It's an incompletion, obviously. You're not going to see that on any highlight tape, but it just shows a really good job that he is able to, scramble throughout the pocket. And another really good thing that I really like from Shedeur Sanders is, when he does leave the pocket, he's still looking to throw. He almost never just tucks and runs it. He's always looking downfield and he's looking for a throw. So with this play, he's going to do a really good job at, dropping this pass right into the receiver's bucket. So this play right here is going to be a bit of a slot fade. So this receiver right here is going to get upfield on a bit of a fade route. And Shedeur Sanders does a really good job at fitting it right into the bucket where only he can make the pass. Now you'll see with the safety is going to absolutely lay him out. So it's a bit of a hospital pass, not going to lie. But, aside from that, it's actually a really, really good throw. So we'll see here. Snap the ball. Boom. Wide open right here. Shedeur Sanders is going to throw with anticipation. Maybe could have got the ball out a little bit sooner. That probably would have avoided this hospital pass, because this defender right here is going to absolutely blow this guy's back out. Pause, but that's what's going to happen. Just watch. Boom. And now that ends up in an interception. Now, is that totally Shedeur Sanders' fault? No, not really. That's more of a better play by this defender right here. Now, if he would have got this ball out a little bit quicker, because you'll see here, watch. This ball should be out right now. He's open. There's no one in this area. The closest defender that's going to be able to make a play on this ball is this defender right here. And if he puts that towards the sideline, that's a really good catch, really good play. But we'll watch. He doesn't throw it when he needs to, which causes the defender to kind of slow down a little bit. Watch. Slows down, then has to speed up a little bit, and then gets pummeled by that defender. Ends up in an interception. So, accurate throw, yes, but could it have been out a little bit sooner? Yes, as well. But all things considered, that's a really good throw, just probably could have got it out a little bit quicker. Now this throw right here is a really good example of what I was talking about, where he throws with really good touch and he's able to, layer throws over the defender's head. So we'll let this play out first. We'll see he escapes the pocket. He's going to make a really, really good throw to Travis Hunter here. Now after the catch, this is all Travis Hunter obviously. That's just him being a great athlete. We'll probably end up doing a tape study on Travis Hunter as well. But what I want to point out on this play is when he makes that throw, he's layering it right over this defender right here, right over his fingertips, and it's a great throw to Travis Hunter. Just watch how he layers that throw right over that defender. Perfect placement. Look at that. And then that also gives him, the opportunity to get a little bit of rack. Now, most players aren't going to be able to score off of that play. That's just Travis Hunter. But we'll see again, this angle is really, really good to show, the precision of this pass. Just watch this. Right over the defender's hands. Perfect throw. Amazing work by Shedeur Sanders. Great touchdown. Great play by Travis Hunter as well. Now, this play right here is really interesting because he's primarily going to be looking at the slot receiver who's going to be running a bit of a crosser, maybe a 10-yard in, depending on what you want to call it. But that's his first read. His second read is going to be Travis Hunter trying to get a good release, and it's going to be a go route. He's going to look to this defender first, decide not to throw it, which is a good idea, but he's going to be a little bit too late to fit this ball to Travis Hunter because Shedeur Sanders doesn't have the strongest arm. So you got to be able to, if you're going to throw deep balls, you got to be a little bit choosy on when to throw it, because if you realize that you want to make that throw too late, you're going to underthrow it 10 times out of 10. I really would like to see him throw this ball to this check down right here. That's going to end up being right around here, and it gives him a really good opportunity to get some rack to maybe get that first down. So we'll let this one play out. And watch his eyes. Watch Shedeur Sanders' eyes. His first read is to this defender. Doesn't like it. Decides to load up and throw it to Travis Hunter. And it's 1, underthrown, and 2, into double coverage. Now I understand giving your superstar player a chance at the ball, but in the NFL, there's 3 defenders in the area to only 1 receiver. That's going to be intercepted, I'd probably say 70% of the time, and it's going to be an incompletion 95% of the time. But if you look, we'll go back a little bit more. His check down is butt booty naked, open, wide open. And if he throws this ball, he's got a chance to get some rack up the field as well. But instead, Shedeur Sanders goes for the big throw, and his deep balls are not his strong suit. And he just, completely underthrows Travis Hunter and is double covered. I would have much rather have seen him, just check it down here. He does a really good job at getting off his first progression. Look, gets off that progression, launches it to Travis Hunter. Now, if he throws this ball, he's going to end up throwing it to the numbers. If he throws that more towards the sideline, with Travis Hunter's athleticism, he's probably able to run by number 3 and get ahead of number 4. So we'll show this to you one more time. And just look. The ball ends up being on the numbers. More so, if it was to the sideline, I think he might have been able to complete that pass. But it ends up being a double covered incompletion. Now with this next play, Shedeur Sanders is going to just like almost all of his plays, he's going to be under pressure. He's going to try to escape the pocket. He's going to try, I don't necessarily know if he's going to try to fit this into his receiver or throw it away. It ends up in an interception, and you guys can be the judge to see whether or not, he was trying to throw this ball away or try to fit it into his receiver. So we'll see here. Snaps the ball. Pressure. Escapes the pocket. Throws it on the run. And is intercepted by the defender. Now, if he was trying to fit this ball into this receiver, that's going to get intercepted on any level. His ball velocity was, I understand, he was getting pressured and he was on the run, but his ball velocity is nowhere near where it needs to be able to complete this throw. He needs to throw this ball away. Now, I don't know if that's what he was trying to do and he just didn't have enough arm strength to do it, but when you watch it, just watch how this ball floats in the air. Look how long that ball just hangs in the air and it ends up being intercepted. I don't know if he was trying to actually fit that throw into the receiver or if he was trying to throw that ball away. Either way, it was a bad play that resulted in an interception. See how that ball he just stayed in the air. He needs to throw that ball away. And if he was trying to do that, that might be a little bit concerning that he wasn't able to get that to the sideline. Now, this is a really good example. Now, this is the immediate next throw from Shedeur Sanders after that bad interception. And just watch how he's able to throw this ball to Travis Hunter right here. Just watch how he's able to fit that ball to the sideline where only Travis Hunter can get it. And it's going to be within a crowd too. Now, this just shows elite confidence. Watch how he's able to fit that ball, just layer it in right where only his receiver can get it. Oh, that wasn't even Travis Hunter. That was, I cannot remember his name, but he's actually a really good prospect. But just watch how Shedeur Sanders is able to fit this ball where only his receiver can get it. Look, there's 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 defenders in the area, but he throws it to where only his receiver can get it on the sideline. Amazing throw, and it shows really good confidence in Shedeur Sanders to be able to make that type of throw, right after an interception. Look at him escape the pocket, throw on the run, absolute dot to the sideline. Amazing play by Shedeur Sanders. That's what you really love to see from him. I would have said that was his best throw of the day, but this might be in competition for his best throw of the day. Now watch how, keep an eye on this receiver. He's going to be running up the seam, and he's going to be able to fit this ball, in between this defender and this safety. Watch how he's able to throw this ball on a rope right where it needs to be. Like I said, Shedeur Sanders doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's able to throw this ball on a rope right to where it needs to be. I just don't think we see this on tape enough to consider Shedeur Sanders to have a really good arm. But watch how he's able to just fit this ball down the seam. He absolutely rips that ball right between the safeties. Boom. Great throw. Didn't end up in a touchdown, but it was an amazing throw. This is even a better angle. Just watch how he splits right between the safeties and over number 54. Boom. Perfect throw. Amazing throw. Good velocity. That's about as good as it gets with Shedeur Sanders. And then that's going to be the video. Let me know what you guys think of this video. This is my first ever tape study, so, forgive me if it wasn't the most, cleanest video. I'll continue to do these if you guys like them. I'm probably going to do a Cam Ward one next. In my opinion, I do think Cam Ward's the better prospect, but I think Shedeur Sanders is better than what most people give him credit for. A lot of people say he's not a first-round talent at all, and although he's going to be, probably getting drafted in the top 5, I think he's still a first-round talent. In a vacuum, he might be, a later first-round pick, but a lot of people are saying he's a day 2 talent. I don't think that. I think Shedeur Sanders has a really high floor in this league because he's able to go through his progressions, and he's an accurate thrower with really good anticipation. He might not have the athletic tools like some of these top quarterback prospects have had in the past few years, but I just think he's going to be a really good player in the NFL. I think he'll be a perennial top 15-ish quarterback in the league. So that's going to be the video. Consider subscribing if you like the video, and as always, I'm the Draft Nerd, and thanks for watching.